Alright, just got out. I wanted to film these guys with these bad boys on my little DSLR, so let's see how this goes. So this is the first bike that I've tried. This is the 300. It's got a single disc brake, the front single disc brake. I felt the front brake was very spongy, and the feel of it was not as solid. But this may be just, this particular bike is set up, or the brakes are still new or breaking in or whatever. And this guy has an ABS, as you can clearly see right there. So maybe the ABS makes it feel like that. I'm not sure. My 250 that I owned was without ABS. Let's see. The front dual headlights I like quite a bit because they are just like my 500. And I just do, it's aesthetically, I think it's quite pleasing. The arrangement of the bike from front to rear is very reminiscent of CBR300 that I owned for 2 years. In fact, I wouldn't be able to tell this is a 300 from the back, probably, because it looks very, very similar. The back brake is okay, it's adequate. The pipe is not too loud, so the first thing I'd do, I'd change the pipe to make sure people can hear you on the road, and I'd probably get rid of this bulky piece of plastic. One thing I found was the pegs were a bit high for me, so this is perfect for a beginner rider who is a bit shorter. So if like someone I can think of, like Space Pod, would be very comfortable probably on this bike. No, no pun intended. I just, if you don't know, Space Pod is a shorter rider, and he has a 300, Ninja 300, which is a great bike. But I'm sure he'll be as comfortable on this as he is on his 300. It's still okay for me. I mean, I'm not in a position where it's super cramped, but it's definitely on the shorter side. It's got these little rails to hold on to as a passenger, but I don't know if you'd be riding with a pillion on this bike. It definitely feels like it has this additional torque off the line, but I did not feel the extra power, although I didn't have a chance to. I guess the power would equate into higher top end speed, but my 250, I believe I could only get it to 140 on a good day. And I'm guessing this would be 145, 147 or whatever. Other than that, I managed to stall it because I actually hit the kill switch with my thumb accidentally. It was quite funny. Other than that, it's not as much different. There's not as much difference between this and 250. If I were you, I'd probably go and get whatever is more affordable for me. If you can find a used 250 and learn on it, be my guest. I think that's a good thing. If you are a shorter rider and you don't need to change the bike, and you're riding in a city, and you're not going to be on the highway very often, you may want to get this 300 brand new. And let's move on to 650. First thing I noticed, right, this headlight, it reminds me of the Yamaha headlight, the Yamaha 600, I forget the model name. I cannot find a single fault with it except for one thing. I want to get this out of the way so we get this cleared up, and we'll talk about the rest of the bike. Low RPMs, I find vibration in the wrists quite annoying, just a tiny bit annoying. Maybe from 2,000 to 5.5. Pretty much, if you're riding normally, that's where you are most of the time. As soon as you're accelerating, the vibration goes away. This probably has a lot to do with the bar ends. Maybe a heavier, I can pretty much tell they're not very heavy bar ends, actually. If you get a weighted bar ends, this will eliminate most of it, and it will become a perfect motorcycle. Not a beginner motorcycle, this one. This definitely needs your attention 100% of the time. It's got a beautiful Dunlop tires. This thing, it's 180 at the back. Oh my god, what is this? Standard 120. Standard 120 in the front. So, the way, if I can sum it up, I mean, it looks gorgeous, but the way this bike holds the line is something else. It's quite amazing. There's nothing else like it I've tried in a recent past. I've tried older super sports. I've tried the 636 Ninja, and the way this bike holds the line mid-corner is just amazing. It's extremely comfortable too. You sit on it, the seat is amazingly padded. Like, it supports your weight perfectly. You're not going to be tired in your butt. You're not going to be tired on your wrists, especially if you fix this bar end problem. But the handlebars, as you can see, they're sitting right on top. The clip-on sit right on top of the triple tree, and unlike the Super Sport, it would be probably right here. You probably even take these off and put them here if you wanted to, really. But there's absolutely no point, because this is a perfect place for the handlebars, and Honda figured that out quite well. It's not. There's no strain on your wrists, and it's just great, and you can still tuck in very well. This is an inline 4 engine. It's just amazing. It's so smooth. It's so great. Power is ridiculous. The windscreen, I thought it was adjustable, and you can clearly see, as if, you know, there are points where you can actually adjust the windscreen, but they tell me it's not the case. But you can easily, you know, undo those 4 screws, get yourself a double bubble or something like that. When the mirrors are fine, I don't mind the turn signals at all. I wouldn't even touch them. Wouldn't change them on this bike. Look at that polished exhaust. I mean, I wouldn't even change the exhaust on it. I could tell by the way this is set up, it'll be very hard to find a comparable part for cheap, or actually for any kind of money. Just because the undertail exhausts usually are, you know, you gotta wait longer for them to come out. And also the fitment is fiddly in some cases, because honestly you don't see it. And there's a big box right here, big black box, to isolate the noise. I'd like the noise. I'd like to hear the whine of the bike, obviously, but ideally I'd want the exhaust right here. But you know, this is fine. It keeps the center of gravity quite low, and handling wise, it's just amazing. I wouldn't even touch the exhaust, to be honest. Not in the first year or even 2 of owning this motorcycle. I can't even find anything else, you know, bad to say about it. Absolutely, as if I am. I'm actually not looking for anything bad to say. I'm just looking to see, you know, because everything else is so perfect. I can't think of, you know, anything to weigh it out. Look at that. These rubber grips on the frame, right in a perfect place. You really don't need anything on the tank. This is amazing. They just, you know, they thought about everything. So if you're okay with a headlight like that, this is a perfect motorcycle to get. And if you do get it with ABS. The braking performance of these brakes is ridiculous. It's amazing. You don't need better brakes than this. Honest truth, I slowed down from, I can't even remember, it must have been, I don't know how fast we were going, but anyways, I slowed down quite a bit, quite fast, and it did the job perfectly. Did not even hesitate a second, just with the front brake. So that's pretty much it, guys. So these 2 bikes, very different. This is a shorter rider, beginner rider, riding in the city. I can see myself. Can you see me? Right in there. This is more experienced rider. Please, I beg you, do not get this bike as your first motorcycle. I think you will love it if you do, but you will not learn how to handle this bike properly, or it will take you a lot longer to do so. I'd rather you start on something smaller. Even on my bike right there, 500, start on that and move up to something like this. Will I buy this bike, or would I buy if I had the money? I actually don't remember how much it costs, but I would certainly consider buying it as my next motorcycle. I didn't think that way when I first did a test on it. I felt, you know, I was really picky. I was told so many good things about it, so I started trying to find faults, basically. But the truth is, this bike is just something else on a different level. Bar ends, and get rid of the bulky undertail thing, and that's pretty much it. That's all I would do to it if it was my bike. I wouldn't touch the exhaust. Just amazing. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and thank you to Markham Outdoor Power for giving me this opportunity to test ride these motorcycles again, especially knowing that I've already done a test ride on this, but I didn't have my camera on. If you guys are interested, if you're in the area, if you live in Toronto and area, I keep getting questions actually, where do I service my bike, and you know, stuff like that. I would strongly recommend you actually check this dealership out. It's on Markham Road and 16th, just north of 16th. These guys are extremely friendly, and if you need parts, you can talk to my buddy Yaya. You've seen him in some of my videos. If you haven't, you can check him out. Prices are very competitive in the store. I'm surprised how they can actually do it, but they can. So that's all I gotta say. I service my bike here. I buy my gear here as well. I used to buy it online. I used to buy it from US. Not anymore. But the prices like this, I can't find a cheaper price on certain helmets that I find in the store. Anyways, guys, I wish I could actually ride this out right now, like home. Leave this guy there and take this home. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time. If you like this video, put a like. If you didn't, put a dislike, and let me know why.